The laughter hits me before the words do. Sharp, polished, cruel. I sit at a marble table surrounded by Myra's friends, the kind who smell like expensive perfume and entitlement. The chandeliers above throw soft light across Mira's perfect smile. My fiancé Aaron runs a small business, she says lightly, swirling her wine. He's humble, you know? Simple, simple. I freeze mid-bite. Her tone isn't love. It's apology. One of her friends leans in. That's cute. Do you even drive, Aaron? I look up. The table waits for my answer like it's a game. Mira laughs before I can speak. He takes the bus sometimes. My chest tightens. They all laugh. Expensive laughter. I stare at her. You know that's not true. She looks away, cheeks coloring. It's just a joke. Don't be sensitive. A waiter sets down another bottle of wine. My appetite dies. The steak in front of me feels like rubber. I lean back in my chair, watching her laugh again, her hand brushing against Luca's as he pours her drink. He's too close, too familiar. Something inside me cracks. I stand. The sound of my chair scraping the floor cuts through the music. Myra blinks. Aaron, where are you going? Home. Her friends go quiet. Mira follows me out into the night air. The city hums around us. She grabs my wrist. Her perfume is sweet, suffocating. Are you serious right now? She says, You're embarrassing me, embarrassing you. My voice is calm, but it feels like glass in my throat. You did that for me. Her eyes flicker, searching for softness that isn't there. You're overreacting. They were joking. You know how people are. I step closer. And how are you, Mira? The kind of person who lies about the man she's marrying? She opens her mouth, but nothing comes out. Just silence and the faint sound of traffic. I exhale. You just showed me who you really are. I turn to leave. Behind me, her voice cracks. Wait, Aaron, please. I don't. I walk. Every step feels heavier than the last. The valet hands me my keys without a word. I slide into the driver's seat and rest my hands on the wheel. My reflection in the rearview mirror looks foreign. From the restaurant window, I see Mira standing there, small and shining under the city lights. For a moment, I almost feel sorry for her. Almost my phone buzzes on the dashboard. A message notification flashes across the screen. It's from her phone. He actually believed it. You're perfect. My breath stops. The streetlights blur outside my windshield. The laughter from earlier rings in my ears, twisting into something darker. I stare at the message again, every word slicing deeper. Perfect. I lock my phone, grip the steering wheel, and whisper to no one. Not anymore. Fade out. Asterisk her phone screen still burns in my mind. That single message. He actually believed it. You're perfect. Now she's standing in front of me in my apartment. Hair still immaculate. Eyes sharp. Myra, say, holding her phone out. What is this? She glances at the screen and exhales, pretending to laugh. That it's a joke. Luca was teasing me. You take things too seriously. A joke? I ask. Telling someone you fooled me? She rolls her eyes. You're twisting it. You know how group chats are. Her tone slices like glass. I search her face for a hint of guilt. Her jaws tight, her eyes steady, but her hand trembles slightly by her side. Mira, just tell me the truth. I am telling you the truth. She crosses her arms. Why are you acting like a victim? You embarrassed me tonight, walking out like that. So I embarrassed you? I take a step closer. You lied about me, Mira, to your friends, to yourself. She looks away, her voice rising. I have to survive in that world, Aaron. You wouldn't understand. People like them don't respect small lives. So you made me one? I say quietly. Her breath catches. You'll never understand my world. She grabs her bag, heels clicking hard against the floor. The sound echoes through the room as the door slams. Silence. I sink onto the couch. The city glows outside, neon bleeding through the windows. Her perfume lingers on my shirt, sweet and bitter. I unlock my phone. Photos of us fill the screen, smiles, road trips, coffee mornings. All of it looks staged now, like a story she only played a part in for the first time. I wonder if she ever saw me at all. When the clock hits midnight, I finally stop staring at her last message. I delete it. Morning comes too fast. Ria's voice cuts through my thoughts as I walk into the office. "You're late, sir?" The board's waiting. Her tone is calm, but her eyes search mine. "Rough night?" I nod. "Something like that." She studies me for a second longer, then opens her tablet. "Before the meeting, there's something you should see." I adjust my tie, slipping back into the mask that never cracks. Here, I'm not the man who was humiliated at dinner. I'm the man who owns everything these people worship. Ria's voice softens. "You've built something incredible, Aaron. Don't let anyone make you forget that." For a moment, the air between us shifts. Her gaze lingers just a heartbeat too long before she looks back down at her screen. She scrolls, then stops. "New acquisition proposal," she says. "High-profile company." I nod absently. "From whom?" She hesitates, glancing up. "Luxon Group." My pulse slows. "What did you say?" She turns the tablet toward me. Their logo flashes on the screens. Leak. Golden letters I've seen printed on Mira's shopping bags, on her phone case, in her world. Ria reads aloud. "Luxon Group seeks partnership or purchase by your firm. Confidential terms attached." I stare at the screen. The irony tastes cold. Myra works there. I feel something inside me click into place. Quiet and final, if she wants that world so badly. She's about to learn what it feels like when I own it. Ria looks at me carefully. "Sir? Should I schedule a call?" I smile, just enough to hide the storm. "No, schedule a meeting." Fade out. Asterisk, the sound of the pen scratching against paper feels heavier than it should. I sign the last page, my name sharp and final across the line. Ria stands by the window. Tablet in her hand, her reflection pale in the glass. "Luxon Group," she says quietly. "You really went through with it?" I nod. "The board approved the acquisition this morning. It's done." She turns, eyes narrowing. "This isn't business. This is revenge." I lean back in my chair. "Does it matter?" Her voice drops. "It does if it changes who you are." I meet her gaze. She's worried not for the company, but for me. For the man I've become since that dinner. But I can't stop now. Not when I finally have the power to turn humiliation into control. I rise and hand her the signed folder. "Prepare the press release. Keep my name off it." She hesitates, her voice barely above a whisper. "She works there, doesn't she?" "Mira." I say nothing. Silence answers for me. Ria sighs, a trace of sadness in her smile. "Then I hope you know what you're doing." The next morning, the city sky is gray and glassy. Luxon Group's headquarters looms ahead, all chrome and ego. I walk through the revolving doors. The staff rush past, eyes on their phones, unaware that the man they're brushing shoulders with owns. Everything they touch, my shoes echo across the marble floor, at the far end of the lobby. I see her, Mira. She's laughing, surrounded by the same friends who mocked me. Her voice is bright, rehearsed. For a moment, it feels unreal, like watching a stranger playing her part too perfectly. She glances up and our eyes meet. The laughter stops. Her hand freezes around her coffee cup. Her friend leans in, asking something, but she doesn't hear. She just stares at me, color draining from her face. I walk past without a word. Every step feels like its own kind of justice. Ria meets me at the elevator. "Ready?" I nod. "Let's begin." The top floor is silent, polished, untouched. My office now. The city stretches out beneath the glass like a conquered map. Ria places the final contract on the desk. The transition is official. They'll make the announcement any minute. I glance around. Luxon's luxury smells like Mira's perfume. Too perfect. Too hollow. Ria steps closer. "You can still stop this. Hand it to a proxy. Walk away clean." I look at her, the concern in her eyes almost enough to break me. Almost, she humiliated me in front of people who didn't even know my name. I say quietly. I want her to see what she threw away. Ria's expression hardens. And what if she sees the man she made you become? Would she even recognize you? The intercom crackles before I can answer. Attention all staff. The manager's voice booms through the speakers. Please gather in the main hall. We're welcoming our new CEO. Ria looks at me, her throat tightening. It's time. We step out of the elevator together. The entire company is gathered below, hundreds of faces watching the stage. I scan the crowd until I find her again, Mira. She's frozen, clutching her clipboard. The manager lifts the microphone, smiling. Everyone, meet your new CEO, Mr. Aaron. Her mouth falls open. The coffee cup slips from her hand and shatters at her feet, and I finally let her see me for who I really am. Fade out. The room goes silent the moment I step in. Dozens of eyes turn toward me. Some curious, some nervous, and then hers. Mira's, she's standing across the table, papers in hand, her confident smile fading like smoke. Her fingers twitch around her pen. She doesn't blink. The manager clears his throat. Everyone, this is our new CEO, Mr. Aaron. Scanning the room, my voice stays calm, detached. Good morning. Let's begin. The air tightens. Mira's friends whisper to each other, exchanging looks that cut through the tension. They know something's wrong. I keep my focus on the presentation slides. Luxon's recent numbers show a downward trend in engagement. We'll be restructuring departments. Effective immediately. Someone raises a hand. Will this affect marketing? Yes, I answer. Every department will be evaluated based on performance. I glance at Mira. That includes yours. Her throat moves as she swallows. The pen slips from her hand and clatters on the glass table. No one dares to laugh. She bends to pick it up, her shoulders trembling. When she rises again, our eyes meet for half a second. It's enough to pull every memory of her voice, her perfume, her lies. I turn back to the screen. That will be all for today. Thank you. Chair scrape. Papers shuffle. Voices murmur as people file out. But I can feel her eyes burning into my back. The door closes. Only she stays. Her heels click fast against the marble as she follows me into the hallway. Aaron. Her voice cracks. Please wait. I stop, but I don't face her. Are you doing this to humiliate me? She whispers. Because if you are, it's working. I exhale slowly, then turn around. Her makeup is perfect, but her eyes aren't. They're red at the edges, glassy with panic. This isn't about you, I say. It's business, you're lying. She steps closer. You walked in there like a stranger, like I never meant anything to you. You made that choice first. Her lip trembles. You don't understand what that night did to me. I was scared, Aaron. I wanted them to respect me. And to do that, I say quietly, you had to bury me. The silence stretches between us. I can hear her breath, shaky and uneven. For a moment, the hallway feels too small, too intimate. She takes another step forward. Please stop this. Don't use your power to hurt me. I look at her hand, clutching her folder, the diamond ring still glinting under the fluorescent light. Hurting you was never my goal, I say. But pretending we're fine isn't my job anymore. Her voice breaks. Then what is your job now? I straighten my tie. Running my company. I start to walk away. Behind me, I hear the soft sound of her heels as she rushes forward. Then a hand wraps around my wrist. Warm. Desperate. Her voice is barely a whisper. Hey. Please. Don't tell them what I did. Freeze. The hallway feels heavier. Every heartbeat loud in my ears. I turn my head just enough to see her face. Fear. Guilt. And something else hiding underneath. Why? I ask quietly. What are you so afraid of them knowing? She doesn't answer. Her hand slips from mine. I leave her standing there, trembling under the weight of her own secrets. Fade out. Asterisk, it's past midnight. The city lights are fading, but my office is still awake. Ria sits across from me, her hair falling loose as she reads through another file. The soft sound of her typing fills the silence. You should go home, I say, half focused on the screen. She glances up. You've been saying that for 3 nights? So should you. I lean back, the exhaustion heavy behind my eyes. Work helps me think. Her tone softens. No, it helps you hide. I look at her, and for a moment neither of us moves. The air feels close, charged. She stands, walks over, and places a cup of coffee in front of me. Her hand brushes mine. The touch is brief but electric. You're still in love with her, she says quietly. The words sting more than I expect. I'm not sure love is what I feel anymore. She studies me, her eyes searching for the truth I can't admit. Then what is it? Something unfinished, I say. Something that still hurts when I breathe. Rhea nods, her expression unreadable. Then maybe stop trying to fix what broke you. I open my mouth to respond, but a sound outside the glass walls catches my attention. Footsteps, Mira. She's standing at the door, holding a stack of reports against her chest. Her eyes flick from me to Rhea, then back again. I didn't mean to interrupt, she says, her voice brittle. I just wanted to drop these off. Rhea steps back, her face composed. It's fine. I was just leaving. Mira watches her go. The silence she leaves behind feels heavier than before, when it's just us. Mira sets the papers down, her hands shaking slightly. I've been staying late, she says. Trying to make up for things? You don't owe me anything, I reply. Her eyes glisten under the dim light. Maybe I do. You think I don't see how you look at me now? Like I'm a mistake you can't erase. I stand slowly. What do you want from me, Myra? She swallows hard. I want you to know I didn't mean to hurt you. I just wanted to fit in. They made me feel small, and for once, I wanted to belong somewhere. Her voice cracks. And I can almost hear the version of her I used to love, the one who smiled without fear. Before pride took over. You didn't need to belong to them, I say. You already had someone who saw you. Her breath catches. Then why do I feel like I lost everything? Because you did. I don't say it. She takes a step closer. Her hand trembling as if she wants to reach for me but knows she shouldn't. The distance between us hums with everything unsaid. I can't undo what happened, she whispers. But I can be better. Before I can answer, the door bursts open. Lucas strides in, his voice slicing through the air. Am I interrupting? Mira stiffens, stepping back. He smirks at me, eyes glinting with arrogance. You had your chance, Aaron, but she's mine now. The words hang in the room like poison. I take a step forward, my voice low. Get out of my office, Luca laughs, leaning against the doorframe. You think money makes you untouchable? She's already made her choice. He grabs Mira's wrist. She flinches, but doesn't pull away. My fists clench. Let her go, Lucas smiles. Make me. For a second, our eyes lock, a silent promise that this isn't over. Mira finally whispers, Aaron, please. Don't. But it's too late. The calm I've held for weeks starts to crack, fade out. Asterisk, the rain was relentless, hammering against the city like it wanted to wash everything away. Through the blur on my windshield, saw her. Mira, standing in the downpour outside Luxon's building. Her arms wrapped around herself, trembling. I stepped out before I could stop myself. The cold hit instantly. My shoes sank into puddles as I walked toward her. She didn't even flinch when I said her name. Mira, what are you doing here? Her mascara was running, her lips shaking. I couldn't go home. The streetlight above flickered, painting her face in flashes of gold and shadow. I clenched my jaw. You'll get sick. Go inside. She shook her head. I can't, not after what he did. My pulse tightened. Who, Luca? Her voice cracked. He threatened me. I froze. What are you talking about? She reached into her soaked coat and pulled out her phone. The screen glowed under the rain. A message. From Lucas and that text. Make him look desperate, or you'll never work here again. The words hit harder than the thunder. I looked up at her. That night, the message you sent me. It was his idea? Tears mixed with rain on her cheeks. I didn't want to. He said it would ruin both of us if I refused. I thought I could fix it later, but it just got worse. My breath felt heavy, too loud. You used me to save yourself. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't know who I was anymore. Lightning flashed, revealing the fear in her eyes and the regret. For a second, I saw the woman I fell in love with, not the one who broke me. I took off my coat and draped it over her shoulders. She flinched at the warmth like she didn't deserve it. Go home, I said quietly. I'll deal with Luca. Her fingers tightened around the coat. Why are you still being kind to me? I looked at her. Because hate takes more energy than I have left. She looked away, lips trembling. I didn't want to lose you. I just didn't know how to keep you. The sound of rain filled the silence between us. I turned back toward my car before I could say something I'd regret. The warmth of her gaze followed me all the way. Inside the car, I let out a shaky breath. My hands were still cold. My heart wasn't. Then I saw her. Rhea, sitting in the passenger seat, soaked from the rain, eyes red. How long have you been here? I asked. Long enough, she said quietly. I started the engine, but she didn't stop staring. Her voice broke as she spoke. I thought you were done letting her control you. I didn't answer. The wipers moved back and forth, erasing the water but not the tension. Rhea turned toward the window. You don't see it, do you? Every time she cries, you fall apart. Every time she breaks, you rebuild her. Rhea, it's not what you think. Then what is it? She snapped. Because it looks like you're choosing her again. Her words hit deeper than the rain outside. I looked at her, but she wouldn't meet my eyes. Outside, the thunder rolled like a warning. Inside, Rhea's voice was quieter now. Tell me something, Aaron. When does she stop winning? I didn't have an answer. The storm outside wasn't the only one I had to survive. Fade out. The week felt longer than any in my life. Every time I walked through the halls of Luxon, I could feel their eyes on me. Whispers followed. That's him. He's her ex. No wonder she looks like that. I learned to ignore it. Rhea didn't. She moved around me like I was made of glass. Professional. Cold. Smiling only when she had to. Tonight the office was nearly empty. The rain from last night had stopped, but the air was still heavy. I pressed the elevator button and heard a soft sound inside. A quiet sob. The door slid open. Rhea was there. Standing in the corner, her mascara smudged, her hand clutching the strap of her bag. Rhea. She turned, startled. Sorry, I just needed a minute. I stepped inside and let the doors close. The hum of the elevator filled the silence. What happened? She laughed bitterly. What always happens? I give too much, I frowned. If this is about work, it's not about work. She looked up sharply. I stood by you, Aaron. I defended you when everyone said this was personal. When they called you vindictive, I told them you were better than that. My chest tightened. And you were right, was I? She whispered. Because every time she walks by, you stop breathing. Every time she cries, you look at her like you still owe her something. That's not fair. No, it's not. But it's true. The elevator stopped between floors. The lights dimmed slightly. For a moment it felt like time froze with us. Her eyes glistened. You keep saying you're done with her, but you don't even see what that's doing to you. Or to me. I reached out instinctively, my fingers brushing her arm. Rhea, she stepped back, shaking her head. Don't. Please. Her voice broke. I know she hurt you, but I'm the one standing here now. I'm the one trying to help you heal. And I'm the one you won't let in. The elevator doors opened again. She wiped her tears and walked out without looking back. I stayed there, frozen. Her words echoing inside me like a truth I didn't want to face. When I finally stepped into my office, the emptiness felt louder than her voice. I turned on my computer. New security reports blinked across the screen, unauthorized data access attempts. My heartbeat quickened. I opened the files. The logs traced back to one source. Luca he had been downloading company data, transferring it through back channels, trying to destroy Luxon before I could rebuild it. But something didn't fit. A timestamp caught my eye. 2:47 a.m. The footage loaded on screen. The hallway camera flickered, showing the reflection of an office door. Lucas. Then I saw her. Mira, she entered quietly, looking over her shoulder before closing the door. I felt my stomach drop. Was she helping him? Or was she being used again? I leaned closer to the screen, watching as Luca's shadow moved toward her. He said something, but there was no audio. Her face turned pale. Then she pushed him back. The video cut off. The clock in my office ticked once, loud and sharp. The rain outside began again, tapping against the glass. I whispered to no one. Mira, what are you doing? The storm outside didn't scare me anymore. The one inside did fade out. Asterisk, the elevator doors opened to the top floor, and the air felt colder than usual. Luca's office lights were still on. Midnight. I stepped inside quietly. Mira was there. She stood by Luca's desk, clutching a small flash drive, her hands shaking. What are you doing here? I said. She turned fast, eyes wide. Aaron, you shouldn't be here. I could say the same to you. I walked closer, my shoes echoing against the marble floor. You broke into his office? It's not what it looks like. That line again. I snapped. You've used it every time I catch you lying. Her jaw trembled. This isn't a lie. It's proof. Everything Luca's done. The fake transactions, the data leaks. I'm trying to stop him. Stared at the flash drive. Give it to me. She hesitated. Mira. My voice dropped lower. If you want me to believe you, give it to me now. She finally stepped forward, placing it in my hand. The metal was warm from her grip. I was going to bring it to you, she said softly. But I didn't want you to think I was still involved with him. Her eyes searched mine, desperate. I'm trying to fix what I broke. Before I could reply, the door burst open. Luca walked in, flanked by 2 security guards. His smirk was the kind that could curdle blood. Well. Look who decided to have a little midnight meeting, he said. And here I thought, loyalty was dead. Cut the act, I said. I know what you're doing. You've been leaking company data for months. He laughed. That's funny. Because from what I just told the board, you're the one doing that. Guard stepped forward. Mira gasped. What are you talking about? Luca looked at her with mock sympathy. Poor thing. Still believes she's the heroine. Tell him, sweetheart. Who gave you that flash drive? She froze. He leaned closer. You really think I didn't plan this? Every file, every message, I fed you exactly what I wanted. You've been my courier, not my enemy. Myris. You used me. No, he said with a cruel grin. I saved you. Until now. He turned to me. You two make quite the pair. The liar and the fool. I stepped between them. You're finished, Luca. He gestured to the guards. Not tonight. Security already called the police. Data theft. Conspiracy. You'll love the headlines. Outside, sirens wailed, faint but rising. Mira grabbed my sleeve. Aaron, I swear I didn't know. He blackmailed me. He had photos, messages from before we were engaged. I thought if I did what he said, he'd delete them. Her voice cracked. I didn't want to hurt you again. I looked at her. Her hands were trembling, but her eyes were steady. For the first time, she wasn't running. Luca clapped slowly. Touching, truly. But it's too late. The police will believe what they see. And what they'll see is you two caught in my office with stolen data. I clenched my fists. You set this up. Of course I did, he said, smiling like the devil himself. And by the time they're done, both of you will be out. Of your company. Of this city. Of each other. The flashing blue lights outside painted the glass walls with chaos. Mira turned to me, eyes wide. What do we do? The sirens grew louder. Footsteps thundered down the hallway. I looked at her, and at the flash drive still in my hand. Tell me the truth, I said. Is this really proof, or just another trap? She swallowed hard. You'll have to trust me. The door slammed open behind us. Luca smirked. Too late. You're both going down. Asterisk, the suspension letter sat on my desk like a wound I couldn't hide. The board called it temporary. It felt like exile. I stared at the city through my window, the skyline bleeding gold into night. Everything I built, now hanging by a thread because of him. Because of her? Because of me? A soft knock broke the silence. Rhea stepped inside, holding 2 cups of coffee. No makeup, no smile. Just quiet eyes that saw too much. You didn't have to come, I said. I wanted to. She handed me the cup. You look like you haven't slept. Sat down. Sleep doesn't change betrayal. She sat across from me, folding her hands. Neither does anger. I let out a breath. They think I stole from my own company, Rhea. They think I planted data. And Luca is out there celebrating. Then we stop him. I looked up. How? She opened her laptop. You're not the only one who keeps security backups. I found something the investigators missed. A video loaded on the screen. Luca's voice. By the time they find out, it'll be too late. I'll own everything. He was laughing. His reflection in the glass showed the flash drive, the same one I took from Mira. Rhea's tone was steady. It's time to burn it all down, Aaron. But not with fire. With truth. I felt something inside me shift. We worked for hours. Sending files. Forwarding evidence. Connecting the dots for the board and the authorities. By morning, it was over. Luca was arrested before sunrise. The news spread fast. Luxon's scandal exposed. CEO cleared of charges. But one story stood out. Mira. She was cornered by reporters, her face pale, mascara streaking. Watching her on screen didn't bring the satisfaction I thought it would. When she came to see me later that day, she looked smaller somehow. Not broken, just emptied. I guess this is where you tell me I got what I deserved, she said quietly. I shook my head. No, you already did. She looked down. You could have destroyed me. I thought about it, I said. But then I realized I'd just be turning into you. Her lips parted, but no words came out. I handed her a folder. There's a position opening in my foundation. Education outreach. It's not glamorous. It's not powerful. But it's real work. You're offering me a job? I'm offering you a chance. After everything I did? Yes. Her eyes shimmered with tears. Why? I met her gaze. Because someone once gave me one. She took the folder with trembling hands. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The silence wasn't heavy anymore. Just tired. As she turned to leave, her voice broke. You still care, don't you? The air stilled. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. She looked back, tears glistening under the sunlight. That's why it hurts this much. Then she walked away. I stood there. Holding my coffee, feeling the warmth fade from the cup, Rhea entered a moment later, watching the door close behind Mira. You let her go? I had to. Rhea nodded slowly. So what now? I looked out at the city again. Now, I rebuild. But this time, without hate. The world outside was still burning with light, but inside, I finally felt calm. The clink of glasses and low hum of music filled the restaurant. The same place where everything once began. Only now, the air felt different. Lighter. I stood by the counter, adjusting a framed photo of the opening night. My restaurant. My name on the sign outside, the scent of roasted coffee mixed with citrus candles. People laughed, toasted, moved on with their lives. And somehow I had to. Mr. Aaron, table 4 wants to meet the owner, a waiter said. I smiled. Tell them I'll be right there. As he left, Rhea brushed past me, her hand grazing mine. You still do that? Do what? I asked. Hide behind work when you're nervous? I laughed quietly. Old habits die slow. She smiled, the kind that didn't need words. She had been there through every storm, patient, fierce, real. Luxon was thriving again. The charity division had grown faster than I expected. Even Mira's team had made headlines for community outreach. I wasn't the same man who walked out of this place months ago, broken and angry. I was learning how to breathe again. Rhea turned toward the glass window. You ever think about her? I followed her gaze. Sometimes, not with pain anymore. Good, she said softly. You deserve peace. I watched her reflection beside mine, her hand resting on the counter. I reached over, fingers brushing hers. She didn't pull away. A server brought over a bottle of champagne. From one of the guests, he said. She said it's for the man who taught her second chances are real. My chest tightened. I looked across the room, and there she was. Mira sitting by the window, her hair shorter, her posture lighter. She wasn't hiding behind guilt or ambition anymore. She looked ... free. Her eyes met mine, and for a moment, time folded back. Every mistake, every scar. Every word we never said, all silent now. She raised her glass slightly, a small, knowing smile. I returned the gesture. Ria watched the exchange quietly. You don't have to go over. Well, I know, I said. I don't want to. Ria stepped closer, her voice barely above a whisper. You didn't need to prove your worth. You just needed to remember it. Her hand slipped into mine, steady and warm. Outside, the city lights blurred in the glass. The same skyline that once reminded me of everything I'd lost now reflected everything I'd built. I took one last look at the restaurant, at the laughter, the quiet music, the peace I thought I'd never earn. I started toward the door, Ria's hand still in mine. Then a voice stopped me, soft, familiar. I always knew you'd make it. Aaron, I turned slightly. Mira stood by her table, her eyes calm, her tone full of something that sounded like release. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. For the first time, her words didn't sting. They settled. Like rain after a long drought. I nodded once, then walked out into the night. The city lights shimmered against the wet pavement. Ria leaned into me, her head on my shoulder. I exhaled, slow and full. This was it. Not revenge. Not redemption. Just peace. And for the first time in a long time, I finally felt like the man I became.